So chapter 1, these are the main highlights of what you need to know. First off, the first thing we talked about is variables. And we had categorical versus quantitative. And you should know what each of those are. If I give you a variable, you should be able to tell me whether it's categorical, quantitative, and what exactly is being measured and all that good stuff. So categorical and quantitative variables. We started by talking about categorical data. Categorical graphs. Things we can use to display categorical data. We have tables, things like relative frequency tables that just says the thing and how often it happens. We have two-way tables, so we have two different categories and we look at the overlap between them. We have bar charts, pie charts, segmented bar charts. And you should be able to use those to answer questions like, what percent of the data has this feature? You should know that relative frequency should be a fraction or a decimal. For quantitative, the graphs that we make for quantitative data, you should know how to make them, how to interpret them, and that they go with quantitative data. Those are dot plots, stem plots, histogram, and box plots. Those are the four main ways that we can display quantitative data. Shape. Main one to remember is symmetric versus skewed, left versus right. Remember, that's the direction the tail is in because that tail is what's causing the skewness. Outliers. You should know how to test for outliers. That's 1.5 times IQR. And then add that to the upper and lower quartiles. Center. That's going to be mean versus median. Spread, we have standard deviation and interquartile range. So shape, outliers, center, spread. We use all those tools to describe the distribution. We use the quartiles to make a box plot. Calculator. Using our lists. One variable stats. And making those different graphs. It can make a box plot. It can make a histogram. So know how to do that on the calculator as well. And last thing, shape determines the measures we're going to use for center spread. So if we're symmetric, you should know that we're going to use mean and standard deviation. That's going to be our better measures of center and spread. If you say that the data is skewed or that there's a bunch of outliers, then median and IQR are going to be better measures of center and spread. And those are kind of the main outline highlights, points that you need to know for this chapter. That covers most of the key points.